My 35/M friend made many rape jokes about me, 33/F, ever after I asked him to stop. My fiancé, 35/M, is acting like it's no big deal. I hesitate to call Jay my friend. He's my finance's best friend. I've known Jay since we were kids. We were not close despite what he says. I've always found Jay to be creepy. Jay is an incel, I think, and very un-PC. My fiancé tolerates him because he knows he's harmless and joking, but I have to disagree. We were at our apartment drinking and watching Netflix. Jay kept making jokes about raping me. One time I went to go get some more beer. Jay shouts, "Hurry back or I'm going to rape you." And even my fiancé is telling him to chill. I didn't say much because I didn't want to ruin the move night, but yeah, it was really disturbing. I told my fiancé that Jay was way out of line and made me very uncomfortable. But he just told me to stop overreacting and that Jay is harmless and just stupid. Then my fiancé jokes Jay would never rape you without me going first. Babe, that just really did not settle well with me. We got into it and he thinks I'm a child and a baby for being so worked up over a joke. And to be honest, I do not feel safe around Jay. I've always had bad vibes about him. He's just very off, not wired correctly. I do feel he's capable of acting on those jokes. How can I tell my fiancé his friend is not okay and that I'm not being thin-skinned? Because Jay's behavior is just plain gross. The first guy I was friends with who made casual rape jokes also sexually assaulted me the next year. Just throwing that out there. Even before your ex-fiancé doubled down on the rape joke, he accepted his creepy friends threatening to rape you. How is this funny? Why would anyone think this was a viable joke? You're uncomfortable because the fiend isn't the only creep in the room. A man who thinks you're overreacting when someone jokes about raping you, isn't someone you should be in a relationship with. Your fiancé threatened to rape you too. He thinks that's an appropriate joke. Both sound like trash to me. Forget the friend, you need to worry about your damn fiancé. That crack about how he'd get to go first. No. Consider getting the fuck out of there, I implore you. Bonus, if you cut the fiancé loose, his creep-ass friend goes with him. Win-win. He's basically saying I would rape you too. I would feel so unsafe with those two guys. Hurry back or I'm going to rape you. How is that even a joke? Can someone explain which part of that is supposed to be funny? It just sounds like a threat. Like what the actual fuck? Also, I'd like to suggest leaving the fiancé. Mom keeps seeing the baby that was the result of my sexual assault. Never wanted to talk about this, but honestly it feels like no one else in my life understands what the hell I'm going through. I, 25 meters, was assaulted over a year and a half ago. Not gonna go into the full details. I was beyond drunk, knew for a fact she wasn't because she never drinks. Said I didn't want this. Didn't stop a goddamn thing. Days after it happened I told my friend who was there that night before he took off and he said it was probably just a drunk hookup and was no big deal. At that point I tried to let it go and forget about it. Especially when it would have so easily been written off as a drunk one night stand if I tried to report it. I cut her out of my life but then came to find out a few months later that she was pregnant. And yup, baby was mine. I wanted no part of that and I told her so. She knew what she did too. She tried to apologize for what she did that night like if that was somehow gonna make it better. But apparently wanted to keep the baby because it was innocent in all this and she couldn't think about going through with an abortion. She left me out of the birth certificate though and said she won't drag me into financially supporting the kid if I didn't want to because she knows she probably ruined enough for me. Understatement of the century. Everyone in my family was convinced I just knocked her up and didn't want to take responsibility. My mom was the only one who believed me when I told her everything that happened. That made me feel relief that at least she was on my side. Except recently I found out she's been seeing the baby behind my back for months. Last time I was at her house her phone started ringing and I see rapist's name on the screen with a pic of a baby girl. My stomach started twisting and asked her what the hell she was doing. My mom was freaked out about it but she ended up admitting she's been communicating with rapist for a while because she just wants to spend time with her grandchild. granddaughter. So she's been inviting my rapist over to her house almost every week so she can play with the baby that was a result of my fucking rape. That was too much for me. I couldn't even stand being in my mom's house knowing she was there too, so I got up and left. My mom was begging me to come back, but I just had to get out of there. She was blowing up my phone telling me she's sorry and she didn't expect me to find out about it. I called her up and we had another talk. My mom was really apologetic and she knows what happened to me was traumatic and I have every right to feel the way I do. But that I guess she couldn't help that she wants to be in her granddaughter's life even if it means tolerating her. Told my mom to just leave me alone and not call me for a while. So far she hasn't, so at least I'm not being bothered. But I just can't wrap my head around this. I know she's got a right to do whatever she wants, but it's hard not to feel betrayed in some way, if that makes any sense. Look, nothing against the baby. She's innocent, the first know that I really do. That doesn't mean I can stand thinking about her and not feeling sick knowing how it all happened. I've tried hard not to think about her all this time. I don't know if I can keep seeing my mom after this. She doesn't want this affecting our relationship, but it's all I can think about now and don't think I can get past it. Knowing she's spending time with them, it's fucking up my mind. Any advice on what to do about this? She has the right to do what she wants. That doesn't mean there's no consequences to her actions. Again, let me reiterate how appalling this is. Your mom invites your rapist over every week. Is the child innocent? Yes. But the mom is not. Your mom has no right. Take the time and space away from your mother. Please see a therapist or seek out a trauma group for males if that is helpful. If you ever decide to forgive her, please let it be on your terms. Do not be forced into reconciling or having a relationship with your mom again. This is disgusting. I've been on the opposite side of your situation. I was assaulted a few years ago, and had a child from it. My partner and I love our daughter to the ends of the earth, but it's hard knowing she exists because of some scumbag who never heard the word no. We figured we could get past it, cut my rapist out of the picture, and be a family, and then I found out my mother, who was helping with childcare, was taking my daughter to see her biological father and his family. She brought my kid to my rapist's house. The solution was simple: cut her out. It's going to be hard, and if you're anywhere near as close to your mum as I was to mine, it's going to be painful, but it has to be done. You don't deserve this. You shouldn't have to deal with your mum playing nice with your rapist on top of the actual assault itself. Cut your mum out entirely, or she's going to keep dragging you back into this. One of them, mum or rapist, could even pull some legal bullshit to force you onto the certificate due to your mother's relationship with the baby. Cut ties with anyone who's associating with your assailant, or you'll never be free. You can't stop your mother seeing the baby, but you can choose not to see your mother. There's no point in an ultimatum making her choose. She already knows this distresses you and still chooses to do it. She already chose the baby and the rapist over her own child. She chose to ignore your distress. She chose not to give support to you. I would suggest she be dead to you. Yeah, I'd have to do this as well. I bet in the future the mom would try to make him have a relationship with the child because she's innocent in all this and she deserves to know her father. I am so very sorry. This is sickening. I think that you need to distance yourself from your mom for the moment. Have you considered getting therapy? I'm so sorry about the stigma behind male sexual assault. I think for my own peace of mind I will need to, even though it hurts. Out of everyone in my life, she believed me when I told her, so it makes it harder to lose that support. Yeah, I've thought of therapy, but only counseling I could get is at my college. Only problem is they only offer a few sessions. Regular therapy I doubt I could pay for on my own. This is horrific. I would be as cruel as possible. I would tell her that if she wants her grandkid so much, she can do whatever the fuck wants, but forget she has a son. Not only because she's seeing the baby, it's because she lied to you and she wasn't going to tell you ever. On her own freaking words. My 20F ex-boyfriend, 26M, lost his temper after I wouldn't allow him to watch me urinate. When I say this, I mean he wanted to see me up close, so close he could see my urethra. I was extremely uncomfortable with this, so naturally I told him he couldn't watch such a thing, at least with me. After that, he started yelling at me and made derogatory remarks about my physical appearance. I ended up going home early that evening, reluctant to stay the night again. A few days later, I ended up at his apartment again. I specifically told him I could not be intimate because of my menstrual cycle. Instead of respecting the boundary I had tried to set, he practically pinned me to the couch before turning me onto my stomach. After pushing my face into a pillow, which caused me to feel lightheaded from the lack of oxygen, he proceeded to perform anal sex, something I was never comfortable doing. It hurt so badly I nearly cried. Shortly afterwards, I told him to never contact me again. I blocked his number and deleted his contact info. I hope I never see him again. Question is, how can I move past what he did? I'm already a survivor of sexual abuse, and perhaps this isn't abuse, however it still felt it was. This is rape. You told him you didn't want to have sex. He forced you to. It's up to you if you want to go to the police, but you need to block this man from your life. That was rape, pure and simple. You're best off far away from him. I recommend reporting him. Good luck. That's rape. Go to the hospital and call the police. I'm sorry that happened. Go to the police. That was rape. This was abuse, and you need to speak to a counselor. I'm planning to speak with my psychiatrist as soon as possible. Hopefully she can help me start to work through this. I'm honestly scared to get the police involved. I never want to see him again, and I know he'd lie through his teeth in order to escape any sort of punishment.